Hi everyone, hello people, welcome back to the channel. It's been a good weekend. I hope for you guys it's been a good weekend as well. I hope everybody is well and blessed. On the 20th of November, it's festive, officially almost festive. I hope everyone is good and blessed. So let's do some catch up, some chart breakdowns, analysis, and also have a look at where we are at with a 50k FTMO account. We are officially live with the FTMO 50k account. We've had 2 days of trading, Thursday and Friday, and we started off very shaky, I must admit. Let me just bring up that window for everyone to see so we can all be on one page. So we basically started the account on Thursday, and Thursday we had a 3% loss. We had a 3% loss. We were down to minus $1,492 on the FTMO 50k account. That was our first trade basically. We actually had a bad, it was actually like 2 trades or so, but yeah, let's say it's the first trading day, so one trade. Then we actually went up with, we had one good, the second trade was actually good on Friday, which brought us to close to break even, which is about $105, which is close to break even. But then I took a silly setup on GJ, which I never should have taken, I must admit. But yeah, nevertheless, we took that, and that resulted in a loss of around say 1% and something, $900. Actually 800 and something, but remember we were already down 105. So we closed the week at a minus 2%, if we're gonna call it at that. So we closed the week at a minus 2%. Um, so everything here is not obviously looking good. We got a win rate of 56%. I mean, it's still a positive win rate, but the expectancy, as you can see there, that's not too good because the average profit is 106, but the average loss is 232, so it's almost twice the loss. So that this win rate doesn't mean anything. As you can see there, we basically on day two we were up about $1,400, but that other two trades, the other trade that we took just took $800 or so away from it. So if we can just look at the trading, that history, this was the knock on the first day that we took on the 17th. As you can see there, it was just GJ again. I think I need to stay away from GJ this week, because that's where I've been losing my money. So yeah, GJ gave us a loss of that around 3%, as you can see over there. Um, GJ gave us a loss, and then we've got, as you can see, our stop loss. That's our stop loss levels there. Then we've got multiple trades over here. We had a few lots open, um, 0.50s and also one lot, as you can see there. And this actually brought us close to the break-even section of $105. But this is what is interesting. I took this sells on GJ, and believe it or not, there was a time where I was up and I didn't want to close it. Um, I don't know. I just thought I could hold to, above the 105 that I was obviously in a loss, and I wanted to maybe close it at 1% gain, which is $500, but we never reached that, and after that I just managed to close the trade. You see, I didn't hold the trades too long, about an hour more or less. So that was good. And these trades was actually good. I didn't hold any of these trades too long. As you can see, like 26 minutes, 30 minutes. The longest is around about, also this is 8, that was 8 hours, 9 hours. So that was long holds. This was 1 hour, 30 minutes. So this was all trades I added. But this was, I know the beginning I was holding this trades through some drawdown, but eventually it went my way. So that was basically the trading days. As you can see, I've been selling only because that's the market that I was looking at. Um, I only had all JPY, Euro JPY, and GBP JPY, and that is what we were looking at. So currently we are down 2%. With the 3% loss, that's the 3% loss max that we got there. Remember, we can only lose 5% in one day and 10% overall. We were down with drawdown almost, what's that, 6%, which is not good. So we need to work on that. So yeah, we are currently in two trades. So that is basically on the FTMO. We are in two trades. If I can just show you guys, I know I'm in all JPY. So I took some profit with this candle here, with this bearish candle that, you know, pulled back. I took some profit there, and that is what got us actually close to break even. But for some reason, I decided to get in GJ. So it had the same thing here. So what I saw is, I know I'm jumping around, but I want to show you guys. So what I looked at was this area over here, as you can see there. So I looked at this area over here. I just want to make sure. I looked at this area over there, and as you can see there, we had a 786 rejection on this bullish candle, basically. All right. So when that happened, I got in the trade. So if I just go to the 1 hour for you guys, when that happened, I got into the trade around here after this rejection. So the market went up, failure to break, gave me a nice rejection candle. As you can see, I look left, I see the same thing, and then I saw this bearish candle here, the bearish engulfing. So on the pullback slightly, I got in. But on this week is where I closed the trades, because when I saw this market push up like this, I just closed the trades. That wasn't what I expected. I expected the market to pull back to the EMA around that area, and then basically drop from there. So I was looking to hold it to this area, to the psychological, not psychological, but to the quarter point area. So I was looking to hold to around 750, about this area. This is what I wanted to get. So that trade, if I just put that trade, I know I entered around there. So that trade was something like this that I had. I know I had, it was just slightly above this area. Didn't expect it to, you know, to start going above this area on this side. So as you can see, it was a good risk to reward 1 to 3. So the trade itself wasn't a bad trade, but like I said, it just didn't work out. Either which way would have been stopped out, as you can see where the market is currently at. So I'm happy with the losses. I'm happy. It's a silly trade because it was almost market close, I would say, you know, for us South Africans. I mean, there was low liquidity in the market. But I saw this and I'm like, you know what? The market makers already know a lot of people are on holiday, or a lot of people are closed off for the Friday. So I'm like, okay, so if this bearish move is gonna kick in again, it's gonna kick in right around this area where people are probably not at the computers. You know, these type of thinkings. But that's how we have to think as traders. And remember, even though GJ is bullish, what I see, I still see bearish structure at the end of the day. So I was only looking for sells. You can see here the market is engulfing up, but then it returns down. It's slowly, but look at the bearish candles. Look at the rejections, the bearish candle. It wants to drop. It's just looking for the right time. But obviously, timing is not something we can time to perfection in FX and Forex. Yeah. So that's what I looked at. So yeah, so we're looking at for this week, our exchange rate for South Africans is 17 Rand 26 is where we are at. Like I said previously, 17 Rand 26 is, it's not good, specifically if you want to import, you know. These things play a huge role in this. What we're looking at for the market to do, if we can, if obviously we're still bullish. The moment the market didn't break this lows here, we are still bullish overall. So we're obviously looking for something like this. That's what can happen. But as a South African, what I would prefer, um, let me just move this away and just do this over. So as a South African, for my economy, what I would prefer something like this. You know, the market is doing this. So let's say it already tried to break. All right. So I needed to break below this area, retest this, and come maybe to the 16 Rand area. This is what I would prefer. You see here, this is what I would prefer. And then what it does from there, obviously we have to. So these areas. So if I just take this across, come on, man. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking at. As you can see, support, broke through resistance, broke through support. So I'm looking for the market to come and retest around the 16 rand area, which would be good for us. But you know what? We can only trade what we see, not what we think or feel. So currently, this spinning top, this formation, this candle that's closing on the weekly, this usually signifies a bullish trend to follow. Usually doesn't always mean. I'll just show you. As you can see around here again, you see there's slight bullish momentum forming after that candlestick. You had 1 2 bullish weeks. If you just want to go back, you can see there again bullish. So you see there again, it's like another spinning top, you know, a tall, if you want to call it, something like that. um as you can see, I mean, there you can see is a bearish one, but you've also got bullish forming after that. As you can see over there, this that green one over there, you could even say that's like it's not really a tweezer bottom, because that wick is too low over there. But these are the things that we need to look out for when trading. Candlestick formation or candlesticks obviously also doesn't lie. You know, like wicks doesn't lie. So yeah, let's look out for that. So let's go to USD JPY. So obviously I had a trade set last week. If you looked at the previous video, you can see my analysis. So this one played out to perfection. So this analysis is exactly like I analyzed last week for you guys. If you go and look at it, I drew this up and I didn't touch any of these. So this one acted out fully. I remember I had a fib level drawn, as you can see there, 50 to 61. So it's the golden ratio, golden zone, and that was a perfect rejection. You could have gotten in there. I did not get in over there. I'll tell you why. I was obviously, this was on, let me just see the day. This was on the 14th. So I remember, I think that was either the Monday or so. I was still holding for, waiting on for the FTMO real account details on that day. I did take some sells on ORD on my real account, on my ZAR account, which is for South Africans. So I do have my own live account, and I did make not on this trade but on the ORD JPY, did close some profits there. So regardless of FTMO, we still got to eat some of these pips this week. So this is what I analyzed. You can see that the golden zone, and it came back to that level. It rejected there, but it didn't basically make another low. So what I'm looking at, I'm gonna keep this on the chart, take that one off. So I'm looking at for the market to pull back. So this huge candle, this was obviously, I think, CPI, or I don't remember, for 2 weeks ago or a week ago. So what I'm looking at now is the market to come and retest that level. So you see, between here and this area would be the golden zone. So I would then wait for the market to try and pull back to this level and then take a sell down. So this would be a 1 to 12. You could take it up there, and if you want to risk 50 pips, it depends on what type of trader you basically are. So then it becomes a 1 to 9, say almost 1 to 10. So yeah, but you have to find the right entry. So once your area is reached, remember, you need to go either to the 1 hour to get the candle formation entry, and then you take your trade. You shouldn't be too selective of your trades. If you've got a trading plan, take the trade. The GJ trade I took was a silly trade based on the market times, but not on the market analysis. So I was happy with my analysis, and I was happy to risk the amount I risked. It's just that because of the low liquidity and the time I took the trade was the problem. The session, was out of session for that pair. So that was the issue. But other than that, I took the trade regardless. So I'm happy with what I did. So yeah. So this is something we could look at for UJ. So if we go to USDCHF, Swiss franc, I just need my PC to load. Same thing over here. So there's no trade up. I think I had a trade here the same. Yeah, I wonder where that short position is. But yeah, we're looking for the same thing here on this side. if I put FIB in, I mean they work almost the same. You can see the golden zone area. You just look for that, and then you can take your trade. There's nothing much about that. So we've got CAD JPY. So if we just look how the weekly close, so the weekly gave us a very nice previous week bearish engulfing, and then last week the bulls couldn't really come in. There was a battle between the bulls and the bears. So we've got this level of support. If we can get a close below that, regardless of this position here, I would then actually come back and target the support area over here. So based on the weekly, obviously, which will take a long time. This is around, just see, it's around, no, that's not bad, it's around 300 pips, and that's not bad. So for the week, if you can get the same candle, let me just see how much this candle dropped. This candle dropped 400 pips. That was 2 weeks ago. So if we go to the daily, so what I would wait for, if the daily can close below, you've got this market moving. Let me just give you guys. So the market's failing to break here. It's failing to break it, and it's, if we can get this close below and then a retest, you could get that. That's as simple as what you're gonna look for. If you can get that, you can go to the 4-hour and you can actually wait for a close. So if you can get a close on a 4-hour below the structure level here, you've got good. As you can see, support, 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 support. None of these candles. Look, we drew this support based on this body to this wick here, right? We've got all of those wicks in and that body's in. Look at this. None of these bodies really close. There's no momentum in this trade, so I wouldn't have taken this trade anyway. And it would have been out of session for me. It would have been, yeah, out of session, but also Japanese, Tokyo session. So that would have been also fine, perhaps. But stop loss would have been, the risk to reward wouldn't have worked. So as you can see, the market is failing to make any highs. So what you can look for, in my opinion, if the market is doing this, if you can get a rejection formation around here, and if you go to the 15-minute, if you could find something around there or equal highs, the market can just come to this level. So now you've got this mini range, happening here. If you can get something like that, you could get a nice trade this week. So mark this up on your charts. Just let it run. Like I said, let it run. What I would do, I would then do this. If I get the close and break, I'll do it to that level. And then obviously I want the rest too much over there. We'll do a 50 pips. So around, that's the bullish engulfing. Yeah, so that would be fine. So I'll do a 50 pips. All around psychological, as you can see. So what I also like to do, a tip for you guys, so you get quarter points in the market, right? The 250 level, the 500, 750, and the round psychological level. So what I do is, if I'm targeting this, you see there, so what I'll do is I'll target the 500 area, and then here, as you can see, will be 105. So 105 would be, so it's slightly more than 50, about 52 pips. So that's what I'll target as a stop loss based on the risk to reward. So I could get a 1 to 5, which is not bad. That's like 300 pips, risking 52 pips. The risk to reward is good. Remember to adjust your lot size when you're taking a trade like this. So even though the pip is high, the amount that you're risking, you can't trade. If you got a small account, don't do one lot, or 0.50s if you got a small account. If you usually risk 30 pips with a one lot is about $300, if you say give or take, then the risk is 0.80 for the same $300 on 50 pips. Just do it that way. You don't have to hit the home run with every trade. So that's what I'm looking for CAD JPY. CAD CHF, we obviously still holding. This is the same analysis for last week. I'm looking at this for the market to actually give me this pullback. It didn't give me this pullback, but now you also got this level here on, this is obviously the 4-hour. You've got this level here. So that's a level, but if you want to, you could do this, something like that. So market retesting, you could then now change. Instead of doing that, you could do something like this, and you know where your stop loss is, 20 pip stop loss. So remember, around psychological level of 0.70 thousand. This is a good area, so I wouldn't target at the area. What I look at is for the position area slightly. So what I will do, I will do the next QB point before that. So I'll do something like that, you know. The market doesn't always tend to go to that level. So I mean, I can get a 1 to 5.5. I'll take it. So this is something we could look at potentially for CAD CHF. I'll leave this up for you guys and just have a look at that. Market could come, you know, it's all about probabilities. The market did this. What you could get, because it didn't break this low over here and this support that held here, could give you this, break above that level, retest and come from here and then go down. You could look at something like that too. So let me do that for you guys. I'll just show you that's what the market could do and then give you that same 30 pop stop, so above the wick over the side. So you could look at something like that. So that's about it. Quick analysis. You don't need to sit all day, you know. This looks good. Odd USD. Obviously overall market is still bearish. So the market is coming to this level of support here. Support. You see there's 3 weeks. Here's another 2 weeks. So you've got this level of support over here. Alright. And it's now rejected on this level of, which is now resistance. If I just draw this up for you guys just to have a look, you could possibly see this. This is what I would do. From that body to that wick. This is obviously just a liquidity grab over here. This one as well. Market broke through, a retest over there. So that is what I look at. So if we go to the 4 hour, you can clearly see got a double top on the 4 hour on this area. So what I'm looking at, if I'm gonna trade or USD, I'd look at something like this. Remember, there's that. So you've got this area here in your 50 to 61.8 in your golden zone. You've got 1 to 3 weeks. Look at that rejection. You get in over there and you're in the trade. But let's say you miss this trade. So I'll remove the daily resistance area. So this is 4 hour, right? You see what we see here. So let's see what this area is. So there's an area, support, resistance, resistance, came back, weak there, support, broke right through, resistance. So what am I looking at? What's my next level of concern? So I see this area of support, resistance, held, see here, resistance, broke through, came to retest as support. So this is what I'm looking at for old USD. I'd look for some for a pullback. Remember, I want to get in as close as possible to my area of concerns, support and resistance to my structure levels. I don't want to get in on a trade in the middle of nowhere. So this is what I look at. 30 pop stop loss. Let's see, can we get a 1 to 3? 1 to 3. Simple trade. Simple trade. You can see the market chain structure. You can see we had, let me just do this. One more. We had this. Making highs. Failure to make another high, as you can see. This is not a lower low unless this breaks the high. Came back down. Broke structure, resistance past this support level over here. What did it do? Came to retest, resistance, support, resistance. And now what are we looking to do? Something like that. Could be head and shoulders if you want to. Also, it could be double top with the head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Yeah, so that is what I'm looking at on old USD or JPY. So this is my trade that I'm in. I'm looking to hold to the 92,000 psychological area, because just to show you guys. So that's what I've got. I've got this market kind of in this range, if you want to call it in this range. So it couldn't break, failure to break the multiple tests, it finally broke, went up, couldn't make a high. You got reversal candles, you got a bearish engulfing closing below the moving average. But now we've got this. The only thing that troubles me about this is I find this to be like a reversal candlestick. So, you know, just to continue the move up. That's what worries me, the way this weekly candle closed. So you can see this type of candlestick formation over here. You see it over there. You see it over there. You see it over there. That one's like a doji. So I'm looking at that. So I'm still in my trade. It is a 1 to 3. Let me just see. Not a 1 to 3. My risk is around 30 pips. I've got two trades in there, so I'm risking around 1% on this trade basically. So I'm risking 1% to make around. So it's about the 1% to make around. Let me see. To make around. It says 5 there, but that two together 3. So yeah, I could make around 4 to 5% on this trade. Yeah, so I could make around 4 to 5% depending on if I hold this trade. So that's not bad. So I'm looking to continue in this trend because we've got a rejection from the EMA. We've got just a slight pullback, so that looks good. So that's just on all JPY and what I'm looking at. For me, it broke obviously the trend line. Tried to retest it from the backside of the trend line. We've got levels of resistance, so I'm happy with this trade and what I'm willing to risk on this trade. We go to odd, GBP odd. I haven't traded this in a while. So what I'm looking at, if I'm just looking at it, I just want to mark up some levels. As you can see here, this level, so we could even do that. Resistance, resistance, support, support, over here, resistance, support again. So I would then look for my next level. So these are all levels of support right across here. We've got this level. Support, support, this whole level. Obviously with CBP, it likes to wick. So you can't get a finite area. So what I'd look for if I'm gonna look for this trade, I look for the market to come and retest this area. I look for something like this. Because it already did this. The only thing is it didn't break this high here. So I'm still skeptical about going bullish with this trade, but I will be if I can get a pullback. Just following what the market is giving me. Just following what the market moves in waves. So just follow until you get a break of this low here. If you can get something like, where we are at now, if you get something just like that to tell you otherwise. But other than that, that's what I'm looking at on odd. Not much for me. GBP USD. So you've got this here. So we've got like a double top type of area. Obviously that's the high. Failure to break that high or to even make a higher high. So that's one level. We've obviously got this level of concern over here. So resistance, 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 broke through, became support. So you could look at something like this to come market to coming back and retest. Market already gave you that. As you can see, it failed to break that high. Broke structure there. So this is what I'm looking at. If you want, you could possibly do a resistance over there. So if you're gonna take the long, then wait for a pullback. That's as simple as that. You wait for a pullback. You've got this broke here. Remember, as long as it doesn't close below this area, we are fine for bullish. You got this broke through, change of structure over here, but then broke back above, retest here, and that's what you're gonna look at. So that's on GBP USD. GBP JPY. So you've got a nice bullish formation forming here, as you can see. A doji candle, and we've got the bullish candle. So if we can get a break and close above this, I'll be happy to go bullish. We can get a nice retest on this area. That's what I look for on GBP JPY. It's as simple as that. But like I said, just be careful for this area here. So even though I've got my level drawn here for this support and this resistance, we've also got this area here. We've also got this area here. So if I'm really gonna wait to go bullish, I'd rather wait for the market to then go above this area and then get a retest deep in here. If not in between in this range, something like that. That's something I would look at. Just another form of analysis. You've got this just to show you that if there is any bullish in the market, you've got a trend line break as well. You can do trend line this way as well. So these are all ways to analyze the market. You don't need a lot of time. You can even take this level right across, and you can see if we do what we can do for break of support. I can actually just show you guys quick. If we can do this, I'll do this resistance over here, broke through. This is just liquidity grabs, and all of this was probably news over here. Resistance, support, resistance. So we at a nice level of, I can take it, we're at a nice level of resistance actually. So it's just about waiting. It's just about waiting for a nice, if we can get a nice close below, then we could be bearish. That's what we could look at. Once it breaks these highs here, then I'm all for bullish. Yeah. So that's what we're looking at there. Euro JPY, it's also the trade I'm currently in. As you can see, we had a break of structure. There's lows over here, market close below that lows, came to retest the support, failure to make real highs over here. I've also got a fib level in from this highs here to this lows here. As you can see, it's in my golden zone area, and a rejection from the 50, the moving average. So I'm looking for this. This is a 1 to 7 if I do hold it that long, but depending on what the market gives me. But that's what I've got. So I'm in this trade as well. I'm also risking 1% on this. So if we do lose both trades, we'll be at negative 2% plus the 2% we're already down. We'll be down 4%. So let's see what happens. So I'm in this trade. That's what I'm looking for. That's that's not my overall TP. My overall TP is because the market is really failing to make highs. I'm actually looking for the market to break this trend line. This is what I foresee for GBP, Euro JPY. I see the market doing this. Let's say it breaks with obviously stake breaking in waves. This retest, break, retest, and this is what I see. I see something like this happening. I see something like this. So we just have to wait and see. We just have to wait and see. We can go back to this video to see if I'm right or wrong. It's all about probabilities. So let's see. Euro USD. This is what we're looking at. We can actually go to the weekly over here. We've had a good bullish week the week before. Last week you can see the bulls and the bears were fighting. Overall it looks like the bears won slightly. You can actually easily see we're at the level of support, resistance, at the level of resistance. So that's on the weekly. If we do go to the, as you can see, that's a reversal candlestick formation. You could look at some bearish momentum kicking back in, but then you also got this nice trend line that has been broken. You can see here a whole lot of touches, so you can see that, or yeah, proximity touches basically. There the market broke through, came to retest, basically fake out all the way, and just one big candle back up, and from there it never stopped. So what we could possibly look at for, I would then draw my fib from this area where the move started to there, and I would look to get something like that. If I could get a long position around this area. So obviously this is on daily. 4 hour obviously refines that level, and you can have a better entry. So you see I do that on the daily. We've got resistance, and look for something like that. And obviously based on our entry and the formation that we get, we could have by the 786 area, that could be our stop loss. So 50 pips back up to that level, I could give you a 1 to 4 or 4.7, almost 1 to 5. Doesn't look too bad. But the market does need to give some of this move back. I believe that, as you can see, same here, retrace up. That was barely a retracement, so I like to trade off better retracements. So we've got Euro CHF. I think I'm doing more pairs than what I usually do, but I'm just scrolling through them for you guys just to see. It's not that difficult. Clean chart, 50 moving average, and this is the 9 moving average. You can easily see these levels here. There was a level of support. with a downwards movement, support, broke through, retest, resistance, broke through. So what did we get? We never got a retest. So we would then wait for a retest and then we go that way. If we do get a close and break and close below, we could do this, and that's what we could do. It's all about what happens around this area now. So it either breaks below and retests on the 50 will catch up, or we get a nice wick and a bullish formation close here that rejects from the 50 and then we go bullish. So these are things that are loading for this week. So it's looking to be an interesting week just to mark it up below this week here. It's about 26 pips, and I will target that highs. That's what we got. That's what we got. So it's not looking too bad. We can get a 1 to 4 almost there. We've got 2 more left, NZJPY. So on this pair, kind of funny. I was looking at this pair and looking for sells, but I'm not getting the best signal for me to actually take the sells. But overall, we are bullish. As you can see, we are bullish. It's just failing to make highs, in my opinion. But we'll have to see what happens. We can get a close, breaking close above this area over here. The daily, nice bullish momentum. So let's see. On the 4 hour, obviously, this was a level of resistance. It's a wide resistance, but they don't move that fast, so that's fine. So this was your, obviously, your support here. Broke through, became resistance, and as you can see, multiple times it tried to break, failure to break, came back down, didn't make another low, and then it pushed up and break a close above, and it broke a close this high. So now what I would look for, it already gave me my retest. Let's see the 1 hour. There you could have gotten your entry, stop loss below the wick, and you could have been in the trade and then hold the trade. So I would then wait for a pullback to this level to take my longs. I would then wait for a pullback to this level, and I would then also put my stop loss below this week's, because if it's below this week's, I wouldn't want to be in this trade. And I mean, from there, if I'm going to target even this highs on the 1 hour chart, that's what I'll do. You could mark this up and we can see how this market plays out. 1 to 6, 6.5. NZDCHF, so we've got this on the 4 hour chart. Similar move, I think. On the 4 hour chart, you've got this resistance area over there. We've got this support area over here. There to there. So we've got this, we're in this level. So if we can get a retest here, we're breaking close there. So that's simple. We can come down to this area. You can go up. Like I said, it's all around what happens around our zones, our area of interest. You don't want to enter in the middle of nowhere. So you could either wait for something like that, breaking close, something like that. I could draw, I know anybody could draw a million of these things. The problem is we have to wait in real time what happens around this zone. So if you know candlesticks, if you have a trading plan on a certain candle, let's say you get a doji, a reversal candlestick, a hammerhead, a bullish engulfing, a bearish engulfing, whatever you get around your area, if you have a trading plan and you can clearly see and it's in your market, you could easily do a million things. Just wait for these areas of interest to hit. You see here, you got a bullish candle going into resistance, and then you got a weak rejection engulfing candle. I would take the trade. If I'm active around the market in there and I had it knocked up, I would take the trade. Don't second guess yourself. Never second guess yourself. If that's your area, you got a 30 pip stop loss. Let's say you want to get a 1 to 2. Let's see where's a 1 to 2. 1 to 2 is around this area. So then you're in the trade. As simple as that. If you're gonna second guess yourself and have too many, how can I say, too many guesses, too many confluences, and I think sometimes too many confluences is a bad thing, and then you also get to little confluences is also a bad thing. It's all about the type of trader that you are or want to be. So if you see resistance, you see there's a really double top, the market rejected from there, it came back to the same level. Take the trade. I mean, what else are you waiting for? Take the trade. You're in there. You could have been up now about almost 1-to-1, not 1-to-1 yet. That's about a 1-to-1. In pip wise, you would have been up now, let's see, 13 pips, and it went as far as 24 pips. So yeah, that's all about that. So I could, yeah, that's what I'm looking at. So this is what I'm looking at for the market. Remember, guys, trade smartly, risk management. Never stop believing in yourself. Do your best. There's a million things that I could tell you guys. Just to read one of the quotes on my board. It says that I'm at ease with the risk of the amount of money I might lose in order to win. It's as simple as that. And the risk of my trading plan not working always, it exists. So I mean, those are two quotes that just tells you guys that we are, I mean, that's not even my quotes, that is what I took from Mark Douglas, the one who wrote the book, Trading in the Zone. So there is a video on YouTube about Mark Douglas, just doing a seminar and telling people, I think there's 10 risk or 10 tools or something. It's a good video. You guys should check it out. So that's what I took from there, and I put it on my board just to make sure that I read those things, that when I take a trade, I'm comfortable with what I'm willing to lose, and also conscious knowing that when I'm willing to lose that amount, I know that there's a possibility with that my analysis um, is not always the right analysis. There's one more I think I could read that goes with that, actually, is that um, I don't know what orders the market will get on my trading pair, so whatever pair you're trading. So regardless of the unknown, I will trade what I see and stick to my trading plan, and either collect my profits or pay my expenses, which is obviously the market. So yeah, when you lose, you pay the market, it's part of your expenses, and when you win, you collect those pips. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm signing out. I hope you guys have a blessed trading week, and I hope that these weekly chart breakdowns helps you to better understand the market. Remember, this is the way I trade. It's not the best way to trade, but it's the way I trade. It's a plan that gives me consistent profits week in, week out. I have been consistent for about 2.5 years now, and it has been working. You do get weeks where you don't win, you do get weeks where you break even, and you do get weeks where you win big. Um, it's just about sticking in there. So whatever you're going through, never give up, regardless of the profession. If it's entrepreneurship, if it's some other type of business, if it is forex, whatever you want to pursue in life, just don't give up. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe in you. So with that, I'm signing out. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below if there's anything else that you guys want me to do a video on. For now, peace out. Thanks.